you just get all these, like, with the tattoo on his face, you know, he's pumped right across social media, pumped right across broadcasting. Do you understand? Making you all think. Imagine him landing on your estate, thinking he can be a gangbanger. Think about it. You see the kids that are killing each other on our estates, take them a minute to kill that cunt, lad. Trust me. Just like the kid round the corner, if he steps out of line, you're getting dealt with. And this is what you're seeing with a large proportion of these lads. You know, they're learning fast and behaving. Got a few knobheads in here, haven't we? Didn't even know they were there. Are they on repeating themselves and that? Does it annoy you, lads? Does it annoy you when you've got these helmets just coming in on repeat? They're weird, aren't they? They're strange, you don't even know what they're saying. You just come in and see a few words. You know, where they've wrote a big convo multiple times and now they're giving up a bit. So it went from like 8 words, capital letters, so it gets me attention. They've been blank, now they're doing little 3 words, normal, lowercase. Do you understand? Disheartened, aren't they? Dead easy. Innit, mate? Proclaim to be all special and considerate, full of empathy, and then you're trolling people. You're mad. How are you, John? Jay saying kick them out, bro. Don't even know who they are. Don't even know who they're there. I haven't seen no comments. I've just seen them little 2 scatty ones and thought, so they're in. You know, people are going to come in, aren't they? When I'm speaking truths about people, as I say, people don't like truths. You know, and as I said last night to whoever was in there, if you were in there, I said last night, I've got a life story, right? Listen to this. I've got a life story. I've got a path of life. And that's my life. I own it. No one else owns this life. I own it. So everything in my life is my story, my possession, my experience. And if I want to talk about that, I will. Okay? So now in my past life, I've had A, B, C, D, that gang, that lad, that killer, that man, that dealer, all in my life. Alright? All my experience. So when I'm speaking about my experience in my life and I'm mentioning A, B, C, D, B and the killer and the drug dealer, I'm fully entitled to. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I am fully entitled to tell anyone I want about my experience in life. And if you was involved in it, you probably weren't getting mentioned until rats started screaming shite. Then you got brought into my life story. Then you got brought into the topic of conversation. Do you understand? That's not my fault again. You knew there was little rats out there antagonising me. You knew I'll start speaking about my story if it continues. You've got to verify yourself to people, and that's what I'll do in my story every time rats like yourselves come at me. Macker, how are you, mate? Lulu. So now, you know, my story, I ended up in prison. I'm entitled to speak about my experience and the inmates who I've spent time with and how they was in custody and how they wasn't. It's my story, I'm entitled to do that. Couldn't get what you say. You talk about my story and your experience with me behind my back. I speak about your experience with me openly so people know the real truths. So now, in the last 8 years since I've been released from custody, a lot of people have come into my life that weren't wanted, Some was invited because they encouraged me that they were good people, and they got brought into my life. I experienced them people in my life. If they wouldn't have came into my life in the first place, I wouldn't have had no experience to talk about, would I? So over the last 8 years, you've heard me speaking about all sorts of dickheads on social media. All them dickheads came into my life. I didn't wake up and pursue them and try and get into their life, and I didn't try and ask them to be my podcaster, and I didn't ask them to do an interview for me, and I didn't do nothing. Every one of them approached me to be in my life. So when I'm speaking here now about everything in the last 8 years, whether it's Herbie, English, Atwood and all these other bellends, I am fully entitled to do so, because this is my life story, my life experience, and you came into my life. That's it. You know, you don't come into my life, you won't be spoken about. I've got loads of people in my life that I've never spoke about. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you're in my life, it doesn't mean all of a sudden I'm going to start broadcasting. I've had people in my life for 8 years, longer, consistent. You don't even know they're there. But the point I'm making is, you don't want me talking about you, don't come in my life, mate. You don't want me screaming about you and ripping you on live feeds when you're coming in chatting about me. You're coming into my life. I'm in charge of this life. You come in here chatting shit, I'm going to tell you straight. If you don't want me telling you straight, stay out of my life. It's so simple, you know, people. Simple as that. You don't want me screaming about the Farleys? Stay out of my life, the Farleys. That's how easy it is. Simple as that. And as I said, mate, you know, this is what protected me. Not the Beretta with the quiet one on it, not the Glock, not the T8, not all these things that you carry around with you. Do you understand? This is the biggest weapon you've got. You'll go to places, and guess what your only weapon will be? This. Trust me on that. And this can either get you in shit or get you out of shit. These can't. If you're in shit with these, it doesn't matter if you've got these, you're in shit. Full stop. If you're in shit and you know how to use this, you can get yourself out of it. Fact. Look how quick your bird can make you sad just by using this for a minute. Look how quick your bird can make you happy just by using this for a minute. You need to understand just how powerful your mouth is and the words that come out of it. And the skills that come with words. It's not just talking, you've got proper... You don't even realise the skills in how you're speaking to people, how you engage in the conversation, how you receive conversation, how you participate in it. It's just a mad little skill set you need there, but you get that the more you do what you're doing, the more better you get at it, like everything. Everything. The more you do it, the better you get. If it's self-taught, if it's self-learned, the more you do, the better you'll get at it. If it's self-learned. If it's taught, you're going to a level and that's it, stop there. When it's self-learned, you can just continue and continue and continue. That's fact, that means. Peter says, with words come power. With words come spells. Brings you back to that thing, isn't it? You know, when you're taught, you're only taught to a certain level. So if you go into jiu-jitsu, they'll have levels and stages, and they'll teach you to this level, reward you, then teach you to that level, reward you, then teach you to that level, reward you, then teach you to that level till you've got the top belts, and then that's it. You're done. That's the furthest you're going. That's the furthest they can teach you. It's going to be hard for you to learn anything else because you're conditioned through that 10-year period or 5-year period if you do it right. You know, the MMA fighters have thrown little 5-10 grands and had to get the purple belt in BJJ because it looks good on the resume and shit. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes, FIFA champion badges. Have a good day, mate. Keep it real, Mobile connections. Is it cold? It's sunny but cold. Babe, I'm hungry. Need to have something to eat, don't I? I've had some Weetabix, like, but I just feel like, you know where it been? What time? So I'm just working out. I've been up for 11 hours now. So I've been up for 11 hours. I've done a 5-hour stream. I've done an hour and a half training. Another hour and a half streaming in them 11 hours. So I've done, out of 11 hours of me being awake, 6 hours streaming. I went from 11:30 till 5 o'clock this morning, and then got myself showered, off the gym, come back, done a few things, and then come back on a live. You know, don't start, oh look at you, why don't you get a job, hating on me. Trust me, mate, just ignore the bullshitters. I've had a job, got laid off, my life's gone too hectic. This is a full-time job, mate. Working on myself, correcting my ways. You can't expect me to turn 35 years of shit, yes Jojo, over in, I'd say, 2.5 years I've been free. I've been out of custody since 2016, but then I was on licence for 2 years basically, and then within 3 days of me completing my licence, they stitched me and put me on conditions, and I was on conditions for that stitch-up offence for 2.5 years. So I got out in 2016, done my licence conditions, completed my licence conditions. Within 3 days, I've been arrested for a set of secretaires. I was doing a garden of some woman's nan's house. I've had the secretaires on me, they've pulled me, bang, offensive weapon. Nicked me, tried to breach me on licence and all this, whatever. I got bail from court, but then I'm on bail then. For 2.5 years I'm on bail for this stitch-up offence. And the conditions, mate, they had me on curfew for a full year, signing on 3 times a week for a full year, in the same address 2 doors away from my Mars. And if you remember, when my licence was up in December, within 3 months of me being at my Mars, someone tried to shoot me dead, right? Within a week or so of that, I've got these bail conditions. And you know where the bail address was? 2 doors away from the step where the lads tried to kill me 2 weeks before. So now I'm stuck on this estate, and the police know the risks. They give me an Osman warning 10 days before, but they've made me stay at this address, and they were knocking at the house and all this shit, mate. Mad, for a year. And then relax the curfew and let me change me address, because it got too dangerous when I need to shift addresses. But then still have my own thing for 18 months. And that was 2022. That's when I came off all them conditions. Went to the Crown Court. They kicked it out of court. As soon as it got in front of a decent judge, he just screamed at the prosecution. If this were Mr. G, I very much doubt it. You would have brought this case to this courtroom. This shouldn't have even came here. Just had me on and just kicked it out of court. So if you think about it, all them conditions, the mind work that come with it, I've been free. I'm not totally free yet. I've still got to come out of it. But so basically for the last 2 years I've been trying to get my life together, because when you're on them restrictions and them conditions, you can't do shit, mate. It's like being in prison. You ask anyone that's on licence conditions, and then you ask anyone what bail conditions where you're on a curfew, having to sign at the plot shop twice a day. You ask them what that's like, and they'll tell you it's exactly the same as licence conditions. They kept me on bail for 2.5 years until my at-risk period was up. So when you get out of prison, you get your licence period. You complete that, but then you've still got an at-risk period. And if you commit an offence in the at-risk period, they can bang it in jail still on your licence and all this shit. It's mad, mate, what the feds do to you. So for about 2 years I've been free, trying to get my life together. In the midst of all this, I've had 2 children come along, and they weren't part of my plans, just like some of yous. You know, you've got this plan in your head you want to do, and then all of a sudden a child's there. Everything goes to fuck for you, doesn't it, for a year or two? So this is what I'm dealing with as well. I've had 2 kids in them years. Didn't expect to have a kid. I had this plot in my 10-year plan, and kids weren't in it. 2 kids have come along, so it stalled me. But give me time, kid. You know, I'm a clever lad, I know what I'm doing. A little bit erratic at times, but that's just me resettling. That's the prison coming out of me. You know, we're just an 18-year prison sentence, so although that's a long one and whatever, but you know, I've been going to prison since I'm 14. As you know, I've only had 2 birthdays out since I'm 14. 2 birthdays and 2 Christmases. Why? Because my birthday's in December. And I always seem to go away at the beginning of the summer and get out in January or February every year. So yeah, happy days, kidder. Don't judge my process, you haven't got a clue, mate. You've got all helmets criticising my lifestyle. They've never damaged themselves the way I did, and the lifestyle's still they had decent parents, half of them had given me shit. They had a mum and dad who was in the house, one parent working, bringing dough in every week, food in the cupboards, his own clothes, and they're giving me shit. They've never had it hard in their life, never had it hard in their life, and they're giving me shit about my lifestyle. Wouldn't last 2 minutes, mate. 2 minutes you wouldn't last in our shoes, mate. Not just me. Thousands of kids like me, lad. Thousands of us. Not getting the parenting that we deserve. Not getting the food, the bed, the roof. The simple basic things. But that's why we end up like this. 10 times tougher, 10 times stronger than people like you. That's why we develop immune systems and we can bounce around in the snow in shorts and not die of the flu like you would. This is what poor kids achieve naturally. We're raised in a house where they're using a damp cloth that's washed the dishes for 10 years to clean the sides. You were living in a house where you had Dettol sprayed on every side, weren't you? Dead clean, spotless, bleached all over the gaff. That's why your immune system's... That's why you've got hay fever. That's why you get a cold like cats. That's why you've got no strength in you. Those kids that are raised in shitholes, guess what? Our immune system is battling from the get-go. All yous that are raised in these spotless houses, guess what? Your immune system's not even having a battle. So when we're growing up with all these germs coming in our mouth because we're picking sweets up off the floor and eating them. Oh, look at that scruffy taking sweets off the floor. That scruffy's got an immune system 10 times stronger than you will ever have. Fact. And that's what you see, you know, and it's all about your conditions again. You know, if you're raised in cushions and comfort, guess what? You're a soft cunt. If you're raised on concrete and wood, guess what? You're a solid cunt. That's how it is. Whether you like it or not, that's just the way it is. Yes, Jojo? If you raise an animal, you're going to have an animal. So look at me, 13, 14, in strip cells covered in shit. Look at your 13-year-old in a bedroom with double bed, 40-inch screen, Xbox, bike, lecky scooter, best clothes in the world. Now you've got kids like me who are getting manhandled by men now today, same age as your 13-year-old son. Your 13-year-old son's got all that luxury shit there. And then you've got that other kid that's being dragged into care because his ma's a pisshead and a crackhead. And now he's fighting the system. And he's getting placed in rooms where it's a concrete slab on the floor for a bed. He's getting beat up by 3 or 4 men on a regular basis because he can't handle being locked in prison. Trust me, mate, you see that kid? He turns out a tough motherfucker. His head might go when he gets into his 30s and 40s. But you know, when you give that man a beating, he's just going to get up and walk away off it.